J, same bans as game 1 from Faculty. LeBlanc and Syndra, same again from H2K.
Are we looking here at a Z first pick for in Faculty for Sus Perfect in the mid lane if they don't actually ban it here? Because so far, again, you're banning out the long-range poke champions from Forbidden, but he's shown he can play assassins, he can split push. They sent banned again. There must be a first pick.
Well, are they going to ban Zed or are they going to allow it through? In which case, will Faculty first pick it? Or are they just going to sit and say, you know what, Forbidden? You stomped us last time. Do it again. Because we don't care. You know, this is great. Well, let's head through. So there's Jarvan. So let's see if Faculty take its first pick.
Yeah, so Lissandra is open now, which is why H2K are banning. Actually, I don't even feel like they had to ban Jarvan here. They could have left it open, see the first pick Zed coming in, and just grab Jarvan yourself and Lissandra on the other side. The same setup they had in game 1, which is so strong at the moment. Again, it's also 2 flex picks. One of them can either go mid lane, 2 of them can go top lane, and even one in the jungle. But they really want this Corki pick, and I can't even blame them. For me, he's still one of the best, if not the best, AD carry on this patch.
And Kha'Zix as well locked in. If I remember rightly, back to when Lulex came into Sub for Gambit at the LCS Roadshow at Wembley in London.
Yes.
I think he played a lot of Kha'Zix there as well.
He did, and also when he actually replaced Diamond for a week in the LCS, it was also Kha'Zix being his main pick there, but only lasted for a week. Then Diamond came back in, and Lulex is now on H2K, looking very strong and the favorite to qualify for the LCS.
Well, another fullback jungler right now is Pantheon. Some actually rate him a lot higher than that, but at least in Jarvan, they seem to be the tier 1s or tier A's, if you were to believe St. Vicious, as he put his list out earlier on today. Yes, latest today, I guess, depends on what country you're in. But Sona may be picked up here. Now, Janna is available. It's not going to go for it.
So Mountain is a Sona player, and it's actually good in a lane matchup against the Janna. So if we do have standard lane, Sona is super strong because you out-sustain her, you out-poke her as well, which could be what Faculty is looking for here. You have the Pantheon as well, so at level 6, you land a crescendo, and then Pantheon just jumps down in the head of the enemy team. So you have some nice setup here, and obviously with the Zed, we know they're going to be looking to split push, and you have now the speed up from Zona in the mid lane to whoever is trying to push there, and they might be looking to do exactly the same as H2K did in last game.
Well, what are they going to pick up here? Flicking through a few different champions is Forbidden. And what will he end up sticking with? Will it be this Fizz, or will he go somewhere else? I'm probably just going to stop speculating at this point because he's literally cycled through half a dozen champions, which definitely could have been possibilities. We'll go for Ahri, though. We'll see if he actually buys a Seeker's Arm Guard first.
Yeah, I would actually assume so. We have seen him play Ahri before against the Copenhagen Wolves. Relegation, 3 games, lost every single one, picked up 2 kills. So not the best stats, but he's known for his Ahri. Again, the Assassins, it's what he likes to play and what he's been super dominant on, and H2K like to play around him as well. Give him a kill early on, he can snowball the game completely.
And we'll see how they deal with this one. So, in Faculty, they are the ones that want to try this split push. They've got the Zed in there. What are they going to do to keep them busy across the map? Ezreal has kind of become flavor of the month on 420 and 421.
Yeah, Blue Bill Ezreal could work really well if you want to split push, because you have the Zed now on one of the side lanes, and then you in the mid lane, you said with speed up from Zona, you have obviously the slow coming in from Blue Build Ezreal here to just kite for days. Maokai is not exactly the guy who's going to win one-on-one on his own in a split push here, but he can save with the teleport, instantly join in if the team needs him. So overall, a composition here, as long as Zed gets going, can actually make a lot of work, can do a 1-3-1 as well. If they do fall behind, however, I feel like they don't have enough damage.
It was an interesting face made by Voidal there as that Maokai gets locked in. Or maybe it's more of, we're up against Sona and Ezreal in that lane. That might be another way to look at that one. Well, let's see what they go for. It's going to be top lane pick for Odoamne unless they now change some things
Rumble
around.
would be great here. Rumble would be a good option. Only problem, I guess, with the Rumble is actually they don't have anything to lock down targets with beforehand except for the charm coming in from Forbidden. So I don't really have any engaged CC where Rumble can then land his ulti. So Kassadin, on the other hand, we have seen him being played more and more, and especially when he can get a free lane where Maokai can never kill him.
Yeah, and against Maokai it works out well, and then he can chase down and possibly keep Zaz's Pure Effect, get his name right eventually, in check on that Zed. We'll see how it works out. There it is. That's a very, very mobile team from H2K.
Yeah, very pick focus as well here. Land the charm. Kassadin can follow up here. You can chase. You have good poke. Safety from the Corki sitting back. Disengage from the Janna as well here. So a lot of options. And just looking at the lanes, Ari can do well against Zed. She just needs to get that arm guard early. Arm guard. I was about to say arm guards, but arm guard. And then the Kassadin, of course, in top lane against Maokai. That is a farm lane, which really will favor the Kassadin. He needs to get the Rod of Ages, scale into late game. As we know, he will become super, super scary.
And we've already seen in that last game that Odoamne really does like to roam around. Maybe not quite as effective on the teleport ganks as Lissandra would have been, but we'll see how he brings this Kassadin into this one. Of course, the scoreline stands at 1-0 in favor of H2K. Their first game in this kind of position. Let's not forget, against in the group stages, if you like, of the expansion tournament, they only played one game against Mellencats, and then Mellencats had some issues which they couldn't fix in time, basically, and ended up forfeiting that game. So technically they've kind of just come into this stage without having to win a game up until now, but it's a good sign for them so far. And we've not really touched on the fact that, you know, behind the scenes they've actually got a bit of a boost as well, taking in Broken Shot and Prolly.
Two coaches here, obviously two former pro players, a lot of experience here, both been in the scene for a long time, and probably even told me about this happy dance they do between scrims to make sure nobody is unfocused or nobody's negative. So far, it's been paying off.
They were actually on the stairs just out the side. There are a lot of positivity going on there. They're the lineups you can see. Of course, we've played one game already. Check all the lineups and stats over at lolaesports.com, of course. Everything is being broadcast on there. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. And Faculty starting out as the blue team. They are one game down right now on H2K, who themselves kind of just grinded out the first map. It was typical H2K style, I think it was safe to say. And then Faculty just let them play their own way.
They could never really do anything because they fell so far behind, or Forbiven got so far ahead, I think we should say, and he was just too strong in these one-on-ones. Zaz's on the Jax had to give up trying to one-on-one him and just run with the team. This time though, Zed on the side of in Faculty. And I want to see what this Pantheon can do early game, because you are stronger than the Cosmetics and you can make the plays. You have CC from Maokai in the top lane to set it up, or maybe he wants to focus on the mid lane. See what Obvious decides to do, because he was super good in the last game at actually reading where Lulix was and constantly counter-ganking him.
Well, let's see. Those wards going down over by the red buff on that side of Faculty. Mountain was just trying to keep them away. Cedrin, I think, saw that ward coming over the top there, so they know that is actually there. And a Krug start probably likely at this stage of things as well. With that 2 versus 2 looking like we will see down the bottom. Let's not forget the laning phase was different last time around, as we saw the swap from Faculty on the red side. That looking like it will be a 2 versus 2 this time around, though. You see that Zazas actually will be starting things off by the Wolves. He started over on the Raptors last time, which got a little bit dangerous for him as Odoamne came down and tried to have a bit of a go at him. But that in the end ended up being pretty much nothing. And there are Hjarnan and Lulex going to be starting off in the jungle, and the Krugs will be started by Faculty. However, Voidal coming down to have a look, and the big one's reset.
Moving in there to stop them from getting both of them down and getting like half the XP towards level 2. So managed to stop them. Hjarnan was helping on the Grump. So right now, in Faculty don't actually know exactly what happened or where the enemy jungler started, because they don't have any deep wards at all. And H2K again, like in the last game, they move in, ward on 2 camps so they can see, okay, the bottom lane is starting here, so we know Pantheon is not starting red buff. He has to start Grump on the top side of the map. He will be on the bottom side now once he has the double buff.
Well, Odoamne has kept this lane as frozen as he can. Zazas now coming in at level 2. There's Odoamne digging onto it as well. We'll see how this works out between the two. It's going to be a fairly calm lane, I think it's safe to say. There's no surprises there. This is the one where the liveliness may well occur between Souls Pure Effect and Forbiven. Forbiven, of course, played Zed in the previous match and went 9-0-0. So Souls Pure Effect's got something to show here, I think, if he can make it count. When you pick a champion that your lane matchup has just played in the previous game, you kind of like, well, I'll show you how to play that game, which is, after a 9-0 performance, I think that's pretty ballsy. It
was even the first pick for Faculty here, giving over the Corki again to the side of H2K, banning out Jason Zero once again. against Vivien here. So you're going to have to see what they do. Lulex is a little bit slower here. He's doing just a full clear round where the Pantheon actually skipped Raptors and decided to run towards his top side. So they want to try and shut down Odoamne early on, but Lulex is on the top side himself, just not very healthy at this point. He won't be able to counter gank.
Yeah, and you want to try and, if you're going to go for that gank, it's probably not at the point where Zazas is pushing the lane out, although it means that he's going to have to try and play a patient game, which will give time for Kha'Zix to come in, although Kha'Zix is recalling. They'll actually spot that there as well.
Yeah, so they see him recalling, and that's why Pantheon instantly just recalls himself. He was basically just moving up because a big wave had been built. It was pushing into the tower, and he was expecting, or in case Lulex was going to gank, he would have been there for the counter gank. And as we talked about in Champ Select, Pantheon has so much damage in this early game here. Could have turned it around and giving a few early kills to Unfaculty. Didn't happen.
Well, a little bit of taunting from Cedrian here on Ezreal. We'll see whether he can keep that poke going. Pretty even in farm between the two, despite that little shuffle they had at the start. That's really the only disparity at the moment, that 3 CS differential, as they continue to keep themselves back and forward. Still, slow start here. 5 minutes gone. We may well see the first gank attempt. Lulex having a look towards this middle, but Zed is a very slippery character to pin down, especially when he's got that flash. That's what they're going to be looking at. Try and burn out that flash, see if they can make it. But look at that obvious ward on top of him, reading him like a book.
Once again, he's just trying to counter gank Lulex every single time he has the chance. And in his top lane, well, Marco is able to push in the wave because Kassadin doesn't really have any response to push the wave back. He's just going to sit here under the tower, pick up most of the farm. He should actually have a CS lead if he gets every single one here.
Well, he's doing a great job of that one. Let's see how that works out. This bottom lane's been around this area of that lane for quite a while now. Hjarnan and Voidal keeping it fairly well pushed up. They've got a ward inside the tri-bush, so feeling pretty safe as to their positioning on that side of the map, and they would be anyway. Pantheon over the other side and is still level 4, so has no man drop available for him to actually come down and impact these lanes. But that's what's going to be interesting for me. I felt like in that last game, Obvious, whilst he seemed to be in the right place in terms of counter ganks, he didn't make a lot of opportunities.
Very true. He was basically just completely focused on reading Lulex, get the counter gank going, not starting much. And so for on Pantheon, I mean, at level 6, you have to be the guy who starts it. You can't just sit around and wait for the counter gank. So we will have to see if Unfaculty can actually set up some ganking options for him. So far, he's only level 4, so there will still be a few minutes.
So something we were discussing in the Southeast Europe games the other day with the Ezreals. At what point do you back now? Because obviously he's going to stay there as long as possible with Hjarnan, but at some point he wants to get back and get that Muramana built up.
Yeah, you want to have your tier as fast as possible, but you don't obviously want to give up too much farm to the enemy AD carry and have him push it into your wave. So in the bottom lane, if you want to recall, you have to time it with the cannon minion coming down, the cannon wave, because it takes longer for the enemy to actually push in. And once the cannon then hits the tower will focus it, might kill it, but then you don't lose any other minions. So for me, if you want to get that tier early on and you want to stack it as fast as possible, he could push this one into tower and then recall instantly.
Well, it kind of looks like that's what they were planning to do. Meanwhile, Lulex going inside of the enemy jungle will take down a pink ward, and that grants them even more control. You can see that area is full of H2K. Well, pinks at this point. There's one in that side brush, one in the curved brush there towards Rivet, and one over the top of the walls just outside of the Raptors, which means Lulex is now going to get back onto his path, and we'll go over and finish off that Grump. Meanwhile, no recall as of yet in the bottom lane, and top lane there, Zazas did actually get away. Attack move into the brush would have stopped him though. Yeah,
Cedran's sitting on about 1900 gold at the moment, so really waiting here. Doesn't want to get that early tier just yet, just staying in the lane with Hjarnan, and obviously Hjarnan can be perfectly happy because he's just going to get a Trinity Force. He doesn't need to stack up a tier at this point here. Or maybe we don't even see Cedran go for the blue build. He can just go Trinity Force first, and one of the more old school Ezreal builds.
We'll see which way he goes with it at the moment. Very even between the two. Just a 2-3 CS differential still continuing. I think Lulex just about to evolve there. I think he actually evolved his claws. I didn't quite catch which he did. No, his wings. There we go. So we'll evolve the wings at level 6. So we'll see whether he can start making some of those gangsters. A lot of distance to cover if he's going to chase down a Zed or an Ezreal. or even a Malkite to that extent. He can twist advance onto one of his minions in the back line. Not his own minions, obviously. Sounds perfect though in this mid lane. I was wondering when they were fighting for that pink ward down there. You saw obviously Lolex was the one that was clearing it out. Forbiven was sitting at the side. And Faculty played it very passive once again. They were happy. They didn't want to fight. They were all at level 6. Everybody was equal level. Everybody had been and gotten items, so they were even-ish. But they just didn't want to fight for it, despite the fact it was their own pink ward that was losing in their own jungle.
Yeah, playing it super safe, probably too safe as well in these games, giving H2K too much room to just move around, establish vision control, and pick up all the farm they need before they can start split pushing. Lolex here on the top side.
Maokai's actually, I think, been baited into this one fairly heavily. Xaxus will jump around and will use actually an early flash. The Void Spikes won't actually land onto him, and Lolex and Odoamne realizing they're never going to lock him down. And that was nice, calm play there by Xaxus. Obviously did have to use his flash, but we'll see if they can actually make him pay for not having that flash here. Lolex may even come back around. That's a nice ward into the tri-bush from Xaxus. We'll spot Lolex if he decides that he does come for a second attempt at the gank in that top lane.
Yeah, and Obvious is level 7. We haven't seen anything from him so far except for 2 attempts to counter gank Lolex. Otherwise, he's just been sitting back and farming, and that heavily favors the Kha'Zix because he's the team fighting master in the jungle here. He's still super strong in the team fights. If you let him just sit and farm, we know he can get the resets, we know how much damage he can do as well, and he's going to build the armor penetration where Pantheon will fall off. Going into late game, he just becomes weaker and weaker, and in the end, he's basically just like a tank who can stun a target and he can barely kill anything. So looking at it right now, Faculty is playing way too passive.
Well, Cedrian has waited so long on his tower there until that bottom wave gets pushed his way. He's going to finish that one off, but this dragon has already been well started by H2K. There is a TP coming down. Mandrop will draw over as well.
Lands straight in there. He does tank it up. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Sauce Perfect, he goes down. Still not quite enough to take him down. Instead, Lolex taken very, very low. Dragon was picked up by H2K as well as 3 kills. Can they make it more? Cedrian in all sorts of trouble. Odoamne will catch back on towards him. Xaxus will go down. They could keep going here. Instead, it will be a 3-for-0 and the dragon. And H2K literally just took everything for free there. That was very delayed play by Faculty. You talked about Cedrian sitting there for ages. He got nearly 3,000 gold on him. He goes into that fight with next to nothing when he's up against a Phage and a Sheen. He's like, you're not going to win that fight. I'm assuming, did he have it before the fight?
No, he had the Doran. Okay. But Israel was completely out of mana from even the start of the fight, so he couldn't do anything here. And overall, just a perfect fight for H2K. They get the kill one-on-one in the mid lane. I mean, look at Forbiven. He's going DFG first item. He doesn't need any armor here. He's really showing Sauce Perfect how good he is and that he can one-on-one him, just like we saw before here. Now, early DFG, set up a few wards, land a charm, you have a kill, 100%.
And that leaves them well in the driver's seat. We've said how, since the preseason patches, that the gold is not quite as much of an indicator anymore as it was previously, but even now, there's a 1,400, 1,500 gold lead for H2K, and look at this. Sauce Perfect may be in trouble once again. Will wait there to jump off to his shadow, actually returning a bit of damage onto Lolex as well. But there were 3 men, I said earlier. Odoamne is not scared of roaming down, and when he's got the mobility of someone like Lissandra or Kassadin, then he certainly will get into this one. Yana down in the bottom lane. There's 2 men in the brush there.
Oh, Max Rank Crescendo catches on. I can't even say that word. True Shot Barrage follows it up, but not a lot of damage on Hyanan. Quite easily he takes that one through. Didn't require the heal or any really much help from Voidler at all. Sauce Perfect taking a bit of a burst from Forbiven and Lolex, and you just feel that after that 3-0 dragon fight, the confidence has just gone massive in H2K. They're pushing every single lane looking for ganks now.
Yeah, and that fight in the bottom lane, not a single summon spell was used by H2K, and that was a full combo from Sona and Ezreal.
And not a single gank from Obvious yet.
Yeah, he only used his ulti at the dragon, jumped in, ended up dying. Even when they were to H2K here, so far, the Pantheon pick is not paid off. If you want to pick him, you gotta make plays early game. You can't just run around and wait for these counter ganks.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. It's like when you see a Pantheon, you're expecting maybe a level 2 gank. He may even be coming out straight so early on. just force him to burn something, especially with Forbidden in that mid lane. Force him to burn that flash early on, but just didn't go for anything.
That's the thing about the new jungle. Yes, it is harder, but you can start on so many different camps right now because you get the full level from them. Get your level 2. I mean, start red buff. This time around, it was warded by H2K, so they would have spotted him start red buff here. But still, try it. Try for the level 2 gank. Now he's going in, and Forbidden is gone.
Yeah, and that will be 2 ultimates for 1, and a Pantheon flash used. So, not worth at all there for Faculty. And Forbidden just goes back into lane, says, not even a problem. Let's get rid of these minions. And trying to make plays. I mean, at least they're trying something here, Faculty, which is, I think, what was a big part of the problem in game number 1. They had a kill lead for quite a while, but they were never really able to build on that one. They weren't really crafting their own opportunities in game. Now we see Sol's Pure Effect, getting himself a blue buff. Will actually be recalling home now. We'll see what he ends up actually picking up to come back into this mid lane against that DFG Ahri. That's ahead of him by a decent chunk in gold. Actually got boots of Lucidity. And Zed coming back to lane. Actually didn't get anything extra there, so I assume he'd just been home right before that.
Yeah, and he dropped super low here, so just didn't have any gold. I mean, he does have a blue buff at the moment, returning to lane here, which is going to be pushed in by Forbidden. And once again, Lulex coming in, just showing himself, not even going for a gank, just want to push it in. The tower is super low.
Yeah, so that blue buff you were talking about.
Well, maybe it was a gank, but...
So, the big difference right now between the junglers is Lulex went back, got boots of mobility. Obvious, not even got boots yet, so he's still looking to carry on farming on red buff, while H2K take the middle turret. Somebody needs to respond here because they've got a decent wave. There's another wave coming through. Voidal's going to join them.
Well,
throw that shield onto Lodex. That's an inner tower. Nobody is reacting to this from M Faculty. Boom, gone.
That is it. 2 towers down, and sure, we talk about how hard it is to snowball a goal lead. Coming back is even harder now because you still need to get these towers down from the enemy team to even out the goal. A lot of kills. H2K just doing whatever they want to.
And look at the minimap. The next thing they want to do, it looks like, is going to be ganking Xazas. They go underneath the tower. One more hit will do it. And, well, he gets it in the end. Odoamne has to sacrifice the flash to get back out. But they pick up another kill, their 5th of the game. It leaves a 2-0-1 Kassadin, who's nicely farmed up. It leaves a 1-0-1 Ahri. And Cedric taking a battering in that bottom lane as the Howling Gale lands as well.
Okay, now, Pantheon has ulti ready. The only lane you can actually gank at this point is the bottom lane. Land a crescendo from Zona, then Pantheon jumps in. That's your way to get a kill here. Dragon is spawning in 15 seconds. So if you get the kill, you can move straight up there, ward it up, and take it, because you need to get back in this game here. It's not looking good for Faculty at the moment. And Ahri, jump away if you jump with the Pantheon. Kassadin can do the same. You have to go for this bottom lane. He was even looking down towards this bottom lane. Still is obvious. You have to try and make this game count.
And it's got to be Sona that starts it off, because Pantheon coming in, Howling Gale is so easy to get in there.
They made it too obvious themselves, though, because they used a scrying orb on towards their push. And it's like, oh, no one's here. And immediately, Hyanan and Voidal just back straight away to the tower. It's like, well, no surprise, you've got a Pantheon that's going to try and leap on him. At the moment, I don't think he's quite got that ability. Maybe his boots are broken or something. He hasn't been jumping, that's for sure. Hyanan
They need boots to jump?
Yeah, you got rocket boots, man.
Oh, right.
Oh, then rocket boots at the...
of course.
I forgot about that item, yeah.
You got to jump up there, man. How else is he going to jump? I mean, I know Pantheon's this big Greek goddess guy, but...
I know you're a heavy man, Lee, but other people can actually jump.
I'm not sure you can jump that high, buddy.
It's not his weight that's the problem, it's his age and his bad knees.
Kind of true. So, good to be back casting with you guys, thanks.
And Dragon. H2K moving in, clearing the wards here. Let's see if Faculty can try and fight.
So this is obviously his chance to actually make an impact on this game now. We see the Howling Gale coming over. There is the drop coming in. Will actually manage to stun up Voidal, and they are going to throw in everything else here. Voidal, as I'm casting off the wrong screen again, Voidal is going to go down, and Zed getting in onto Hyanan at the back. That's 2 kills for 1 at the moment. We see Obvious, though, falling low. Odoamne still got decent health. Funnily enough, the Dragon Bivin that whole time was doing a lot of damage. Now they're going to try and turn this one around, but they've gone too far. Sauce Pure Fake will take down Lolex. Doamna's still there. Finally, we do see that teleport is going to come around there. Febiven is coming in from the side, though. Who's going to get the better of this one? DFG will be enough, but now Zazas is there, but he's just a big, lonely old tree, and he won't be able to do any damage anyway.
Nope. So, who actually? Dragon is still alive at this point. No, actually, guys, there's just a big fight going on, even on Joe's screen as well.
I did a deficio, as it's now called, but we can watch that one again. I won't cast a replay this time.
It is okay here. So they actually managed to get Voidal down instantly, and Sauce Pure Fake gets onto Yana in the backline here. No peel because Yana is already dead and ulti was used. From here on out, though, H2K just trying to buy time for Forbidden if he actually wanted to move from this mid lane. Walking down, finish him, and we're back live.
I love the flips, by the way. I feel like someone's just found my first Photoshop.
It's very funky.
And pulled them in there. So, yeah. Anyway, back to live. Yes, I'm casting on live, if anyone else isn't. So, big difference here. H2K, massive lead. This is completely different to the first game where they ground it out. But we are 20 minutes in, and you can see it's already a 5,000 gold lead. They're picking up victory after victory in these team fights. At the moment, though, in Faculty regrouping, can they try to get this dragon down? H2K a little slow to react. No teleport. Oda1, can't get close. Tried to get a cheeky steal there, Hyanan at the end. But in Faculty pick up the first dragon.
Yeah, get the first dragon here for themselves. Might look to catch Forbidden, who's still staying around his mid lane, but will be able to move towards the top side. And H2K right here, actually, because they don't have teleport, are just trading the top tower for the dragon. They just want more gold. Didn't even want to go into a team fight, and we'll get the bot tower as well. So trading 2 towers for the dragon.
Definitely worth. No doubt about it. They've got themselves a big chunk of gold to continue it going. Remember, no global gold anymore for that dragon. Although 6% damage on AD and AP does kind of equate in terms of items, I guess, but it's a differential. There is still dragons to pick up.
If it wasn't 1-1 in dragons and 4-0 in towers and 8-3 in kills. So yeah, it does give you that boost back. Maybe a bit of a foothold for Faculty to actually try coming back into this one, but we see H2K already swarming on that top side of the Faculty jungle. Gonna get some deep wards down, and we're having a look maybe at seeing if they could get in onto that inner turret, but both Sauce Pure Effect and Zazas are there. They're also joined by Mountain, but that'll be a 3v5 if they went in there.
But this is also one of the reasons H2K decided to trade towers for dragons, because they just want to open up the map. And you want to get the extra gold here, buy some more wards, and just completely take over the enemy jungle. If both outer turrets are still up, it becomes super hard to do it. So give them a dragon, instead get the towers, open the map here. You have the Ahri. If anyone face checks for Bivin at this point, he dies.
Cedrian thought about it. Forbidden's been waiting for that for a while, actually. Odoamne actually juking with Zazas there. Instead, he thought he found a juicy target in Mountain. Mountain's like, hell no. Speed myself up, get the heck out of here. Lolex takes himself the red buff. Bottom lane is being shoved in still. Hyanan's going to get himself some free hits on towards this one while Cedrian tries to wipe out the wave. Mandrop coming in. It's Hyanan's the focus, but Valkyrie's away quickly. And again, nothing comes from the Mandrop.
No. Not particularly. And at least, I mean, we say no, it's forced them away from the turret for now at least. Whether that will actually continue here. They are sending Sona down towards this bottom lane as well, but Ahri was waiting. Lolex on Kha'Zix will be joining in there as well, but looks like the recall from Febiven came in because he wants to finish off his death cap and bring a few more wards to the table.
Yeah, some more wards. We need some ping wards from H2K here. A bit like in the last game. They have full control of the map, but they're not very aggressive in the way they ward here. They don't really aim to deny a lot of vision here from Faculty, so they have had a few wards in their own jungle to kind of spot them move around. Get some pings now. A lot of green wards being bought here. I would like to see a few pings so you can actually deny an entire area. Like the whole bottom side of the jungle should belong to H2K. And then you just push in mid, push in bottom lane. If anyone tries to flank around them, they're gonna die. And you can just move freely between the two lanes.
Well, they read your mind. There's the pinks being picked up. That's Hyanan and Void looking to go down there for Bivin also. Love the build he's going with here. Forget the Morellonomicon, forget the Theans. Just going straight nuclear warfare, trying to blow somebody up as quick as possible with that DFG and death cap. Going to be very high on the ability power. 459 AP already. Oh, they're going to try and focus him, but he's got Spirit Rush available. There's one dash. There's the second. Away easily. And then Faculty tried to collapse on. There's a flash from Sos Perfect. Nowhere near landing on him. And now the rest of H2K, they're reacting, they're collapsing.
Yeah, going to try and come in around the side. Lolex will be able to slow him. There's Odo Amner diving in first. He's got Zonia's, don't forget, so he can stick around a little bit longer. It's not going to take as much damage from Zed either. Will Forbiven pop his inside of the Monsoon off the side through the wall. Really, really well done. Lolex, in the meantime, will be flashed onto here by Cedrion, so that is actually just a 1-for-1 at this stage. Or maybe a little bit more, though, as a crescendo comes out with the brush. Shannon will be the one that gets focused, but obvious, I think, is going to lose out. No, the spear gets the assassination. Cedrion won't be so lucky. He's going to try and jump away from that one, but Kha'Zix can follow straight on through, or Kassadin, which is the actual champion that followed on through, and that is a 3-for-2 in favor of H2K.
Once again, some very, very messy team fights here. In Faculty really wanted to engage on Forbiven here. He has no defensive item, so if Zed can actually get onto him, get a full combo with the ulti, and there's no stupid Janna, of course, he should be able to pop him and kill him. They tried, he flashed forward as well, didn't get to him, and H2K bought enough time for everyone to just calm down and then start cleaning up fights like 1-on-1, 2v2. We don't really see the big explosive 5 versus 5 yet.
You got to think, as soon as Sos Perfect tried that flash ulti on towards Forbiven, didn't quite get there. They should have just like, okay, back away from this, guys. We need to back away because H2K clapped so quickly. Odo Amner, 7-0-2 now. Complete contrast to last match,
completely,
where he was 1-5-9, I think it was. And he's basically doing everything he needs to. Forbiven getting that blue buff, very much needed, of course, because of the build that he's gone. But when he's able to secure it every single time for free, why not? That's going to just charge himself up. Now they need to try and get those wards down. That was their plan last time around, but instead it's been delayed. There's a dragon in 30 seconds, so they can just start placing. Look at that. There's one pink ward, 2 pink wards been placed already in and around this dragon area. They did take down that scuttle crab as well, so they have full vision of the area. There's Voidal clearing out yet more wards, so they are starting to suffocate in Faculty's lower half of the map.
Yeah, they don't even have to use all the pink wards right here. Just take this dragon and then move in the jungle, get your deep wards down here, deny all the vision, and you need to start. I'm actually going to say, like, closing out the game, you are super far ahead. 10,000 gold on 4.21 is a massive lead. The enemy team can't even afford buying wards because they need to complete their second item or third item. In this case here, for at least if we look at this, well, everyone else, it's just the second item they need to complete here. So you're just so far ahead on global gold. Use it, get the dragon, or just kill the Pantheon.
Oh, obvious here, down to half already, and he'll die before the rest of his team can even come in. There's Lolex, gets the group stun off, but can they lock anyone else down? The crescendo goes, it only lands onto Hjarnan, and now Odo Amner diving in. That's a good Monsoon. The Rocket's doing the damage, and Sos Perfect will in fact be able to dive in, pick off Lolex in the backside, but can they get rid of the rest of them? There's a Valkyrie in. Odo Amner will have the Rift Walk up here in a second as well, but they're happy with this 2-for-1 trade. I think they're just going to back away because Dragon is up.
And every time we see a team fight, it is still somewhat close. This is 1-for-2 or 2-for-3 here. In fact, he always managed to pick up a few kills, but they can never really get anything after. They're not going to get a dragon here because H2K is staying around.
Big burst there. Sos Perfect. Zonya's Hourglass baits him in. Hjarnan has enough damage in there. Voidal actually is the one that picked up the kill. Odo Amner tries to get away with next to nothing. Hjarnan also low. It is burned. The red buff gets him down. Now Voidal's in trouble. Man drop, miles clear, but it doesn't matter. Damage done. Odo Amner forced away. Or as he can see, Forbiven goes in, obvious. Caught out. Tries to stun him up. Have they got enough? Oh, the little tail flicks out there and gets the kill in the end. Red buff still burning. There's the charm. Cedric might be able to Arcane Shift to catch on him here. I think he should be able to Arcane Shift. Can he get on? Has he got the damage?
Nice.
Yes, he has. Quick turnaround. Odo Amner there. Uh-oh. That's going to pay the price, but the red buff gets a kill on Voidal. He should never have come back in on that one. This game has definitely sped up a little bit.
Yeah, there's kills left and right here for Forbiven. He charged into the bush and actually got stunned by Obvious, took some damage. Ezreal jumps in, and 3 kills being picked up here by Cetrion. It's not over yet.
This dragon, though, might be over.
It is over for the dragon.
No one is really close to that one whatsoever. Lolex will be soloing this one off, and that will be another dragon going over to H2K, which was their second, indeed, of the game. And this is where they should now start racking things up, start getting some of those towers down. We'll see how they go about this one, because Faculty have started to push out a little bit more on that top side of the map. Luckily for them, a few of those wards have timed away, but there's still that pink in the curve brush, which has somehow managed to survive through that. Meanwhile, bottom lane has a big wave coming in onto it. Odoamne and Hjarnan both there, and we see the ultimate coming out of Cedrian, trying to stop them from taking that, but all a little bit too little too late.
Yeah, they could have even just turned straight on him if they had a little bit deeper wards. They didn't really have vision of what Faculty had coming close to them. Instead, they're trying to bait them in here. Obvious getting caught out. Odoamne will go for it. They will put a big chunk of damage. They fancy it. They go for it. Lodex jumps in, doesn't quite get the burst, but they do get one down. It is Mountain once again being picked off. Poor supports. They're always the focus, and that's enough when you've got a scary, burst, fast-moving team like H2K. They can pick you off and take a tower.
Yeah, it's not the best game to play Sona here when there's an Ahri so fit, and a Kassadin as well. They will jump you every single time and kill you. And H2K just moved in the jungle, forced Faculty away, got the pick, open up the base, inhibitor down as well. It is looking super good for them.
Yeah, again, go back to maybe someone a little tankier in this one, so, you know, he could bring his face of the mountain. Would be great. Yeah. It's pretty obvious at that point, but here we go again. Man drop in the backside. Odoamne is way deep on this one and will get shut down in the end by Obvious. That is a big slow, at least from the side from Lolex. A good Howling Gale knocks up 3 of them as well. And I don't think they're going to chase too deep. They've got no vision on this lower part of their own jungle. There's dangerous recalls there from Lolex and Febiven, but actually they're not even pushing out that far at this stage, and they're going to go home, spend a little bit more money. All sat on over 1,000 gold.
The sapling caught him, actually. That's what slowed him down. And at the moment, you can see Febiven will just wipe out the wave. So everybody resets themselves. 7-1-6 for Odoamne. Didn't hit that Zhonya's quite quick enough. Has got the Sorcerer's Potion as well, so starting to pot up. Ooh, he's going to find him. Sauce Perfect's in trouble. He's going to have to run away from this one. Has he got enough to try and turn it back around? I don't think he does. Didn't get anywhere near the damage, and that was such an easy kill for Febiven.
But again, Febiven here in this one-on-one, he saves the charm, he waits for the ulti to come in from the Zed, and then he just lands it in the air, so Zed gets no damage in the ulti, and just takes him out. He's playing these one-on-ones so well.
Yeah, showing his mastery, right? He knows that Zed's going to land behind him when he puts that ulti down. It's a case of just flipping the charm behind you, and all is going to be good. 18 to 10 in kills, over a 10,000. It's an 11,000 gold lead at this point. H2K on that second dragon. They're stealing away blue buffs. They've got full vision control on this top side of the enemy jungle. They could probably take a Baron. I'm not sure they even need a Baron at this point, but if you look at the minimap, it's going to be a freebie.
Well, there was no one near this one for Faculty. Not even going to be able to challenge it. That's going to be a straight, simple pickup. And you know what? Febiven's not even there either. He's just picking up his blue buff. He does not even need it. They have
go bot lane now.
Such a dominant control of this game right now. You can see 11, 12,000 gold lead. Baron buff on. Split push going. Not a lot Faculty can do. This is surely going to be a 2-0. I'm not sure Faculty have a response to H2K.
I mean, we just have to go back to the early game. Faculty is so passive. Everything they do, every single lane, playing passive here. The jungle especially, you pick Pantheon, you make something happen. You don't just sit back and farm. The Kha'Zix will outscale you every single game. So they simply have to, I mean, they have to reset the mind for next game and just come in and say it's all or nothing. Try something early game or the game is gone anyway.
Well, up until now, they're basically losing everything outside of their base. They're going to probably lose another tower here. This final inhibitor turret, I say final inhibitor turret, second inhibitor turret that may go down. Mid lane already losing one. Now it might well be the final because Febiven pretty much all alone in that bottom lane. Only Xaxus on Maokai is there to try and stop him. And this is the problem you've got. Source Pure Fake can't do a thing. He's going to try and throw the shurikens out there, which didn't actually go far enough at this point, which just means slowly but surely your tower's going down. You couldn't do a thing, and your inhibitor's probably going to follow as well.
Yeah, split pushing has become so powerful.
My lord.
That's a kill.
That's a very easy. Obviously, you serious? Going to try and go near him after he just did that? His reset cooldowns will all be back. His charm's back off. Just destroyed him where he stood. So H2K take themselves 2 inhibitors down, And now they're moving towards the Nexus turrets. Not a lot in Faculty are doing here. They're either just going to let themselves lose this game, or they're going to have to force a fight. Fight, people, fight. Fight for your towers. Fight for anything. Just do something, because H2K are just smashing you out of this LCS expansion series.
Yeah, there's not wow. They're just diving straight in there.
They can't fight.
They can't fight.
Are you happy now, Lee? Are you happy?
Well, they could have done that a little bit earlier. I don't know, maybe. Mountain on towards the fountain. Is it enough? No. Kianan will get away. Nexus gets in there.
Hodor.
And it's a victory for Hodor.
Yeah,
it
2-0 here for H2K, and I really like seeing that as well. A team that in the lead, get the Baron, and push to close out the game. Like playing the map perfectly there. And they've done that so well throughout this series. If we touch it on people that have played well, Forbidden, 300 CS, 7-1-3 by the end after his amazing Game 1 Z matchup, which was first picked away from him this time by Faculty. Odoam, they're bringing out the Kassadin and going 8-1-6 as well. Again, the bottom lane, not spectacular numbers, because quite frankly, they didn't have to do anything. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, when you play Zed versus Ahri and you win, you go 9-0, you win the lane, you take the tower, then you swap it around and you take the Ahri and now you go 7-1. I mean, that is a complete mismatch in this mid lane between these two teams here. Fabian is looking so good, and he's actually the guy who everyone expected a lot from every single relegation, but he never really showed up until now.
He's 16-1-3 in 2 games. It's not bad score, really. What are they going to do next? That's the question. That's definitely the question to end Faculty, because they look a little quizzical right now. They have been simply outclassed in lanes, it seems, and really have no answer. They have to try and pull something together as a team. The jungle needs to get a little more active. We didn't see any ganks coming out of Obvious in that game.
No, we actually see the analyst for Faculty Movert, who used to play for Dragonborns in the very, very first LCS split.
Actually, the only team that had the worst records than Deficio's Copenhagen Wolves.
That is very true. Very true. And we did actually also beat them in the very end. So we got in the playoffs, and they didn't.
That is true. Guys, we're going to go over, though, 2 shocks and a lovely 2 gentlemen, Crepo and Dexter, to break down game number 2.